What are you going for, Notto?
How many arrows do they shoot per match?
I think it's 2 each. Six per match. I think it's 4 ends, I believe.
4 ends, it's 24. I think 15 is going to win you a match.
You think 15 is going to win you a match?
At this level.
Win you the gold medal match?
At this level.
We've got the 4th member of our team standing over there. Surely come over, Lucy.
Lucy, come over.
Take a seat, man.
Oh my god, yep. Yeah, we've got Lucy here. She's going to be roaming the floor, getting some interviews from people for apps and stuff like that. You've done a few already, haven't you?
I have, yes. Quite interesting.
Yeah?
Who have you spoken to?
I've spoken to George, and he had quite an interesting viewpoint about apps and the way forward. And I've spoken to different people from different universities. So.
Oh, that sounds good. What are you going to go off to do now?
I'm going to ask people how they've done today and how they hope to do.
Cool, yeah.
We'll go away.
Go away. Go and get some interviews.
Yeah.
Right. So the first thing we're gonna have a look at is the some highlights from Nimes. So hopefully we can get to that right now, if that's possible.
Roll the tape.
Roll tape. Cool, that was some highlights from Nimes there. Before we go into the results and talk about Nimes, we'd like to say you can tweet us your questions, and our Twitter should be on the screen now. There you go. My one's the top one, we've got Chris's is the second one, and Archery-focus itself.
Well, mine's spelt wrong, there's a C in the middle.
So Chris's would be the C Wells, not the Wells.
Printers can't read my handwriting.
The most professional one is on top.
I would purely just tweet Archery-focus.
To
get an answer.
So, Nimes, boys, Nimes. We saw some great matches there, especially between Pagny and Dave. You were there, John?
I was there. Nimes continues to be the biggest, most professional shoot there is. 1,400 archers again this year.
Yeah.
Ran so well. But yeah, the finals they put on in Nimes are just such a great show.
Yeah.
Cousins and Pagny's match.
It's out of this world, wasn't it?
Pagny.
The Sultan of Swing.
The Sultan of Smooth.
Smooth.
The Sultan of Smooth.
As they call Pagny.
Absolutely stroked that final. 119 for his 12 arrows. They were good. Danny Brown for Great Britain.
Yeah, she won as well, didn't she?
She smashed it.
In the compound women.
Hammered her way through the finals there.
Absolutely outstanding. It's brilliant. Yeah. Brilliant. That's the second British winner we've had in Nimes. Yeah. It was Chris White won it many years ago.
Very much like Chris White, didn't
And then Lady Recurve, German girl Lisa and Rao shot quite well. Got away through to the finals and shot really well. There were some big names there as well in that division.
Should we talk about Brady and how he shot in the finals?
Standard first 8. A row. George does his big introduction. Brady Ellison hasn't missed a 10 all day. 8 for the second year on the trot there.
He went something crazy, like 4 dozen during those finals matches, clean on the 10, which is
it was
out of this world.
Yeah, 48 straight 10s to get to the final, and then I think it was 14 10s and 8 in the final.
Yeah.
It was outstanding show. He's the man.
It was also the first leg of the Archery Indoor World Cup as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You can talk about that.
You want me to talk about the Archery Indoor?
Go on.
So, the results they used, it was the second leg actually, because there's the Singapore shoot now that nobody went to. Apart from Rio. Rio went to Singapore on his own. And then we combined with Nimes, and then the Las Vegas shoot.
So the top 8 go through to the
top 16 in each division when they made their mind up who it was.
Yeah. There's a bit of controversy about that. A little bit of
controversy in the ranking system now, because you've got to shoot in 2 legs to count, but they still award you the points if you only shot in 1 leg. So you had people with no positions being picked for the finals. I think World Archery need to work on that a little bit.
On a bit of a tangent, is that a bit similar to the World Cup system? Because the World Cup, they added more archers last year, didn't they? And that caused a bit of trouble. Should it be just a few?
No, I think the 16 is good because it makes it worth travelling around the world. They just need to make their mind up how they're going to award points.
obviously there's a bit of noise going around us because we are in the middle of BUTC today, so we apologise for the hustle and bustle, but we wanted to bring you a live coverage event.
I think we're all starting to warm up and stuff like this.
Back to the finals of the World Indoor Cup. We'll start with the men's compound. Braden Galantine and Rio Wild, what a final.
Yeah, I missed that.
Rio shot 15-10s, Braden shot 14.
What are you talking about?
The World Indoor Cup final.
We're not going to talk about the third leg of the World Indoor Cup before.
Well, no. Do you want to do Vegas first?
No, we'll do Vegas later, man. Don't worry
about
that.
Vegas after.
We're going to go.
Yeah, we're going to go to some questions.
We're going to go to some questions now. I've had some Twitter questions already about the hit and miss targets today. Is it harder to hit this gold circle, where it is just a gold circle in a big sea of black? If you can see right in the background, I'm not sure if you could see earlier. Just a small gold plastic disc in a big bit of foam. Is it harder to hit that than the 10 on a Portsmouth face? Because they are the same size.
They are the same size, you see. Well, for me, shooting field face, I find it easier to hit a field dot than a target dot. You know, there's not a lot of colours floating around, it's easier to see and stuff like this, but focuses your mind a bit more.
Yeah. I think if you're shooting well and you've got your sights set up well, you're going to nail that.
So you do see, like I've been to a couple of these finals. I've shot a one, maybe. Did I shoot one? I don't know.
Something like
you actually shoot in the gold medal?
I shot in the gold medal match.
Oh, awesome.
For Warwick.
You used to go to university.
So did you.
And you didn't get in though, too.
I know. Never tried.
You do see arrows either hit the middle or hit the thing pretty square, or go miles off.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know whether it's something to do with the kind of idea that you've just got to hit this big circle, whereas indoors you can still kind of focus on hitting the mini X in the middle, whereas here you don't have that. Do you think that could affect a recurve, obviously, because you guys are compound shooters?
Yeah. Well, I can't really see the X on the target, so I'm never focusing on that, am I?
Is there a time restriction?
Yeah, there is. And in the gold medal match, when you're shaken like an absolute champion, it gets pretty tight. The third person to shoot often in the gold medal match is a bit shoved
You
for
weren't
time.
the quickest of the clicker, were you?
I was never the quickest of the clicker. I was a tad flinchy, so you know. There we go.
Just yank it through.
It's adrenaline, though, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, especially for a lot of these guys, because this tournament is quite a professional style one for such, you know, some of these archers have only been shooting for now, what month is it?
They have like novice category. Right?
Yeah, it's like 6 months, 5 months into your shooting career, to stand up in front of 100 or 150 of your peers, and then
it's professional looking.
Face. Oh, face. We're gonna go to the face. Vegas. Oh no, we're going to talk about Vegas now. Apparently, we don't really know what's happening.
You want to cut into some highlights of Vegas?
There's no highlights.
You do. Go on then. Go on. Cut into some highlights of Vegas. Here's some highlights from Vegas, guys. There was some highlights from the World Indoors.
Yep.
You were saying something interesting there about the Americans.
The Americans won, I think, 16 gold medals at the World Indoor Championships.
How many is that?
It's about out of 20. Yeah. They won all the junior compounds. I think they won all the team senior medals. Rio Wild won his third Indoor World Championship. Third, which is pretty amazing. It was a good week, well organised. They put a really good finals on. Interesting new venue.
What do you think of that hall? Because it wasn't even on like flat ground, was it? It was on.
Where did it move to?
They moved it to like this equestrian hall in the South Point Hotel.
Yeah.
Ground.
It's a long way away from the
third position compared to the old location.
It's only a level from a night out. But we've got a bit of promotion. They're running a demo of the final. They've only hit one.
They've got X and O's archers.
So those, I reckon 15's definitely going to be. So there you go. Don't cough. No, but the other thing to watch is with the World Indoors is Marco Galeazzo won the recurve men, and there's a bit of a history of whoever tends to win the World Indoors seems to get a medal at the Olympics this year. So last time Marco won the World Indoors was 2004, and he won the Olympics that year.
But when was the last time someone repeated winning the Olympics?
I think Ruben got a medal the year he won it as well.
Yeah?
I'm sure. I was trying to dig the results out the other day.
Not his famous for making up results here. Let's not. We're going to get loads of fans just looking up the results on the internet there now.
Yeah, we will. So there we go.
Obviously, we talk about Vegas and World Indoors. A bit confusing because they combined, they almost combined the World Indoors with the Vegas shoot this year.
And the World Cup.
And the World Cup shoot. So we had the World Indoor, which was beforehand, where we had the Americans bossing it. And then we had Vegas come in, which is the normal Vegas, which is the 3-spot face, where you shoot 300 a day, or 30 hours a day.
Attempt to shoot 300 a day.
How did you do, Tap?
I had a bit of a mare on the first day. I shot myself at 297, but I definitely shot a Hoyt certified 300. 24 X's. It was a pretty sick face.
Nice,
You should have brought it with you, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Tap.
It's got the Hoyt stamp right in the middle.
It's the first 2 days that go and make up the third leg of the World Indoor. World Indoor Cup.
Yes.
Indoor World Cup.
It was that confusing for the people there, don't worry.
And we had the bit of trouble with who was going through to the top 16, but then we had a event. Who did what? Do you remember?
As I mentioned briefly earlier, Rio and Braden shot the one final where Rio shot all 15 arrows in the 10.
Wow.
Braden shot 14 of them. So it was pretty sick.
They weren't allowed to shoot 27 diameter arrows.
No, they had to shoot the normal FITA approved 23.
So after shooting the World Championships, they had 2 days of Vegas, which made up the Indoor World Cup.
Yeah.
But they shot the Indoor Championships on the small arrows. So the small diameter arrows. Yeah. Vegas on their large arrows.
Arrow. Not Braden.
Not Braden, because he's not. He had plans. And then they had to do the evening on the small arrows again. So
I think it's quite a tough thing to do, changing from tune to bow. But going from 23s, you're shooting 27s for the first 2 days of Vegas, which is a massive competition. And then in the evening, halfway through this big tournament, you've got to change your arrows to shoot 15 arrows.
Well, and then to go back again in the morning, if you're still clean, to go for the...
All those guys that were in those finals who cleaned as well. Done really well.
Well, you were the team manager for Great Britain for the event, were you not, Johnny?
Yes.
What did your guys do for it?
We went to... for the World Indoor.
In terms of arrows, I was thinking...
They never made the cut, so it wasn't an issue. But I know that Liam was called out, and he shot a few practice ends and then was told he didn't have a place. He just threw his 23-15s back in the bow and just sighted them in and then unsighted them in. And
I was talking to Dave, and he reckons there's not really much issue with tune because of the weight of the 27. It cancels out the diameter.
Rio didn't even move his sight, he said.
Really?
No.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That
was good. So in the rest of the World Indoor Cup results, because there were 4 disciplines.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
We were
off on a
Who was
tangent.
the lady compound?
I am not clear.
Oh, French girl, Joanna Chessay.
All right.
She
She
didn't
beat
lose, did she?
Sandrine Vaudemont. Yeah, she won Nimes last year. The recurve men was won by Brady Ellison, who beat
Really?
Brady
winning
was.
an archery tournament?
Yeah.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Has he lost an indoor archery tournament?
Yeah, he won lost the World Championships. And then the lady recurve was Keisha Herova from Russia.
Oh, hello, Keisha. Should we get some tunes on this show?
Right, we're going to cut to some more questions now. We've been getting Twitter questions like it's going out of fashion.
Have you got one there, or have you just that's the ones I've already
I've got one here. No, you read that one. Go on, read that one.
So will people be turning to a fatter arrow? Talking about arrow sizes, since we're on that. A fatter arrow to shoot the 50-metre compound round. The new Eastern...
Easton brought some pro fields out, which I think Rio was shooting last year, and he's pretty well. He got the world record for the match.
In Shanghai, he shot a 150. Yeah. A few people did, I think, last year, didn't they?
Well, still.
So are more people going to be turning?
Pro fields.
Yes. Yeah, he won Shanghai with him.
Are people going to be turning to the fatter arrow then?
I think it'll be a bit 50-50 this first year.
Yeah.
I think the jewellery will be out for a while, because obviously when you go to a fatter diameter arrow, the wind drift is going to come into it. Is that going to be an effect over 50 metres? I think you'll see what dominates this season will then dictate the market for the year after. I think people will be to and fro in this year.
I think getting some out for field shoots, like there's IFA Pro Series events, and where wind isn't really that much of an issue. I think that's where they can really come into their own.
I think they're going to be really good for that. Yeah. The Carbon Express shooters, I've noticed, are all trying Nano XRs.
They're a bit thicker,
slightly thicker than the Pro. Yeah.
Do you reckon it makes that much of a difference though, or I mean, is tune more important than the diameter?
If you're going to hit in the middle.
If it's going in the middle, it's going in. Well, look at Braden in Vegas shooting a 250 spine CXL. That's so thin.
Yeah.
And what did he shoot?
Sick.
Wait, let's go back to Vegas. What were the results from the actual Vegas shoot?
From the actual Vegas shoot, well, the winner for the men's compound was Jesse Bordeaux. That was his third or fourth win? Second win.
Good knowledge, man.
Yeah.
Definitely won it 3 times.
He won it in 2006.
All right, we're now done by stat master.
Chance Bobref was second in what was pretty phenomenal last day shooting. The pair of them shot 330x on the last day.
And then didn't drop an X throughout the whole shoot down either. Until
Chance Bobref's Vegas record since he first won it in 2001 is once he finished out top 3. In 10 years.
They brought in that Lucky Dog thing where you get that 899 and then the most X count goes through to the shoot-off as well.
Lucky Dog got quite far this year.
Yeah, did he? That's what
he got through 4 or 5 ends before he got.
If he didn't win it, then he finishes bottom of the pile anyway, doesn't he? So that's the way it works.
What was the money line for the winner this year?
It works out about $70,000 after all your prize money, they say.
Yeah?
And then you probably get contingency on top of that.
That's validity contingency. Point contingency was only $10,000 this year.
Look, you can't be doing that, John. Right, I'll let you in the
Just a little bit of background.
You can't be bringing this into the table.
So ex-Matthew shoot attack.
They've all come down a bit.
They've all come down a bit, have they?
All right, guys. Should we look at the bow arm interview?
Yeah, no worries. If we can cut to the Naomi. Basically, we've got this section where we do tips and tricks of the pros, and this week we've got Naomi talking about her bow arm. So if we can cut into that, hopefully.
I have a short sentence that I say to myself as I'm raising the bow, and then when I get to here, I think about the tricep. And then as I'm drawing, I think about the scapular movement. And then at full draw, I just think strong.
How important do you think it is for good bow arm or hand position?
Very important. I suppose it's half the shot. Half the shot is your front arm, and the other half's the back arm, and both are equally important.
When you draw, well, before you draw your bow, you have a very unique way of positioning your arm and getting ready for your shot. Is that something that you've worked on for a long time, or is it just something that you've just naturally fallen into doing?
I think it's built up over the years from trying to improve just little parts of the front arm, and then it's kind of come together as how it is. It might look really complicated, but to me that's quite natural.
Do you follow a routine every time? Do you consciously have a routine in your mind that you go through, or has that now become second nature to you?
I have a routine, yes, but it doesn't involve every tiny little stage because that's just far too much to think about. So my routine involves like preparing for the shot. I have a short sentence that I say to myself as I'm raising the bow, and then when I get to here, I think about the tricep, and then as I'm drawing, I think about the scapular movement, and then at full draw, I just think strong. So I just have like 4 basic parts to my mental routine.
Do you think it's more important to have good bow arm in recurve shooting than it is compound, or just as equally important in compound? From a recurver's point of view.
I don't really know. I've never shot compound. I imagine it's probably just as important because compounds have got to be really stable, don't they? So they've got to have it strong. To get my hand into the bow, I point my thumb towards the target, and then I rotate my hand this way, and my thumb stays pointing towards the target. The follow-through of the bow arm is just as important as the follow-through as the the right hand when you execute. So the natural follow through for me is to break this way so that you keep your front shoulder pulling down and that stays strong, rather than have a collapsed front arm and back arm, which is quite bad. But this is something that a lot of people do because they want to stay looking at the target throughout the shot and throughout the follow through, where the correct follow through, the bow covers the target so that you can't see it throughout the whole of the execution.
And when you say covers the target, what do you mean by covers the target?
Well, you're looking at the target and then the bow moves over it, which a lot of people don't like, but that is the correct thing to do.
Thanks for that, Naomi. It's getting a bit noisy in here because the finals are just kicking off behind us here. But what are your thoughts on that little VT there, John?
Well, that's pretty interesting. So I was there when that was filmed, obviously. Naomi, and Naomi gave quite a great explanation to how she does bow arm.
You had a pretty controversial spin just now, saying that you totally disagree with what she said.
I wouldn't totally disagree with it.
What would you change about it, John?
What would you change about your child? How would you improve her? Apart from make her less messy.
Oh dear. No, it's she likes to what she calls fade through the shot when the shot goes off.
Okay.
So explain that.
Her arm comes out to the side. And she does that to avoid torque, and she has her reasons to do that. And she's worked on that with Lloyd Brown, the GB head coach, and that's his philosophy. Okay. I'm more of the old school where it should be still on goal when the shot's gone off, and you should still be looking at the goal.
Okay, fair enough.
And there's a lot of people who also do that. So with archery, it's always what works best for you. Just because something works for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for you, because you all know we're all very individual. Yeah, when you were shooting recurve,
when I was shooting recurve,
you had your own
unique
technique.
style.
I mean, your front was pretty strong and could be wild.
Yeah, could be wild.
What was your theory on it?
Well, my theory was that I was terrible at doing whatever a coach told me to do, so I just grabbed the bow and held it on the middle for as long as humanly possible, which went on with me.
Sorry, we're joined here.
First
If you can sneak in here a bit more so you can get on camera. We're joined here by Matt Cole, who won qualification with a, what was it, 282, yeah.
I'll shuffle over it. There you go, buddy.
Yeah.
Super G can't move the camera.
How are you shooting them, buddy?
Yeah, I'm shooting all right.
Good. You getting someone to collect your arrows here, aren't you?
Yeah, team service.
You won qualification with a 282.
Yeah.
What kind of practice does it take to shoot that kind of score in survival?
Taking 9 months off and then shooting once 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's a lot of practice.
Your competitors feel really good about you now,
Yeah.
You're a terrible bloke. Well, your team looking pretty strong for this afternoon.
Yeah, we're quite happy.
Who else is in your team?
Tom Cram and Laura Church.
They experienced shooters, or?
Yeah, Tom's been doing it for about 8 years or so. Laura's been 2 or 3 years now. So
lots of younger guys here, or guys that haven't shot so much. So what am I looking at?
It's the other guy.
Oh, Tom Cram's also came third, so 279. Nice to shoot against some novices in the same hall.
Yeah, it's nice to see lots of new faces coming through.
Who are you up against in the first rounds?
Liverpool B.
Liverpool B team. You're shooting against the B team.
That's a solid team.
Good luck, man. Thank you.
Good luck, mate. Nice one.
Cheers.
Cheers. So yeah, that was a bit random.
We've gone black. Why have we gone black?
Messages from the producer.
He's trying to be funny and he's screwed the entire thing up, hasn't he?
So back to front arm.
But yeah,
Back to front arm.
John Charles is a traditional front arm.
yeah, he's also kind of
The
like.
on recurve front arm. It's strong.
Yeah.
It's rock solid, and it doesn't move before it hits the middle. And then you're more of the Alan Wills school, as I call it.
Just beef it.
Beef
Obviously,
it.
he's got big muscles and I'm basically a weed. So, yeah, I got no tech, isn't that the problem. Tap, when you shot barebow, how did you do barebow, man? I'm interested.
Basically, I figured out that every time you drop a shot, it's because you drop your bow arm, and I used to find that with barebow and compound now as well. So I try and tailor my bow to help me to sort of push forward and up when I shoot. So that eliminates. That helps me eliminate points that I drop low.
In barebow, was it that crucial?
I think so, yeah, because I mean,
You got no stabilizer.
you've got no stabilizer or anything like this, and it's it's quite hard to aim with a barebow as it is, and stuff like that helped.
Well, I'm probably even more critical with barebow, surely, because you haven't got a clicker to tell you when...
Exactly, you've got to be strong with your form, you've got to make sure it's always consistent as well. It's quite quiet now, isn't it? Eerie. Standard uni students.
I personally believe with bow arm, with a recurve, that your front arm is more important than your release. If you got really strong front arm, I'm not going to say the release doesn't matter, but the release is a lot less critical than the front because it's the direction, it's everything. You can goof this, but this is still strong. You can goof that. If that's still strong,
Not he's good at keeping his
that's my theory.
But, guys, compound, does it change recurve to compound at all, you know?
It's everything.
What does that mean? What is that?
Really compound. It's all about aim.
So do you push forward like you did a recurve? Do you hold? Do you what do you do? How do you feel like?
I always try and concentrate on just extending across the lines, and I know you've got to stop and you can't really physically extend or anything, but if you're imagining doing that, then your form's always going to be good, your release is always going to be good, and your bow arm's always going to be good, and that's why I concentrate.
Obviously, you just changed from Matthews to height. Is that easy to do with the height? Or?
It's a lot easier to do with the height. I think since I've changed height, I felt like I'm shooting a lot better. The bows suit me better, and the cams suit me better.
And your scores are the same.
And my scores. I shot a PB in Vegas this year, height certified.
Had some more questions off of Twitter.
Go on, read it out.
Ring or dot in your compound scope? Which do you use and why?
Dot, because it's badass. I think with a ring, there's a lot of theories behind, the way your eye works. It's line rings up, it does that quite easily. But I just feel that putting a ring around a ring is just quite. I think a dot would sit on the gold better, and I think if you can get a nice sized dot to cover the gold, I think you can shoot a lot better than that. You can a nice little halo around the gold.
I find...
What are you doing?
Lucy's back. Lucy, come on.
Lucy, yeah.
But Johnny, carry on.
When I used to shoot a recurve, I used to shoot an open ring with nothing in the middle. Because with a recurve, you've got a much smaller, just a ring, no magnifying glasses, no peep sight.
Yeah.
That's nice to line up in the target. And to me, it just relates to when I've tried dots, but I just can't hold them still enough where I find I get better aim with a...
What do you use, Lucy? We're talking about dots or rings in your scope.
I use a dot, but I use quite a small one for outdoors. So.
Okay.
Have you ever tried a ring?
No, I haven't.
You should try a ring.
Should I?
She uses an Evo, so she's quite controversial as it is anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, good. If only we could get Apple videos onto the you and an Evo.
Have you not tried that nice hook you won at the National Series?
No, I've kept it in its box for now, so...
I liked it.
It's going on eBay. It's going for eBay shopping.
Thanks for that.
£45
OLO.
We're talking about fat or thin shafts for the 50 metre round earlier. Are you going to go to a fatter shaft?
No, I don't think so, because I think my bow is actually just tuned better to like smaller arrows. So.
Have you tried those? Have you tried those pro fields though? You don't know how they tune.
No,
they might tune amazing. You never know.
Maybe. Or if you guys set me up some arrows, I'll try them out. So.
That's something mad.
Have you had a look at all and see what's going on down the field? We haven't seen any of your
message from the director.
Oh, blimey. We haven't seen any of your 12 hits yet, Notty.
I saw a 3 out of 6 there for Loughborough, and they had 4 on the first end. So they're 7 after 2 ends.
7
they're
out of...
the number 1 team at 12.
Well done. What percentage is that, man?
That's quite a high pressure test. It's just over 50%.
Right. So you've been around having some interviews with people about phone apps, yeah?
Yeah, so I've talked to people about like the different phone apps they use for archery and just what they think about it and technology and stuff.
So we're gonna cut to that now if we can. It's going to be quite interesting, I think.
We'll see.
Any chance?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. It's George Harding.
It's basically a target, and you can plot where your arrows are and zoom in and move them around and stuff. And it's a really handy way of keeping all your practice sessions kind of logged, and you can see what works for you and what doesn't, really.
That's brilliant. And are there any others that you would recommend to other people, or...?
No, I don't know really. I haven't explored it, but I'd definitely recommend having a scoring app of some kind on your phone, because you've got it with you all the time. You can see what you're doing this time last week, or like what happens if you have a really big session the day before or a rest the day before, and try and find a pattern of what makes you shoot well.
And do you think it's the way forward, using this technology as opposed to diaries and all the old things that people used to use?
I think maybe it suits you more, maybe, because I also run alongside that an actual diary, and I quite like the diary because it's like a space you can fill up in a way. You're not constrained by the kind of limits of like boxes to put things in, which the apps have. But I think maybe apps will get more and more free in that way, that you can put what information you want where and things like that. I think an interesting kind of development of the apps would be if you could maybe link them up to a computer and have like a tournament like this. You can all be scoring, it all goes into a central system, and then everyone can see where they're ranked in the room. That'd be a way to move that forward.
That would be amazing. Put that idea forward, perhaps.
I will, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lucy.
With 2 students from the University of Birmingham. One is an archer today and one is support. And I was just wondering, what do you think about phone apps for archery?
They can be pretty handy. Yeah, I use one. I don't know if you do. You don't, do you? I don't currently use one, but I'm in the process of finding one.
And are there any difficulties between the types of phones? Because we definitely know that there are phone apps available for iPod for archery, but what about your phones? What do you use?
I've got a Samsung, so I'm on Android, and there are quite a lot that I can get for that. The one I use is ScoreDroid, which I can thoroughly recommend.
That's brilliant. And what does ScoreDroid do?
Well, you put your scores in, and it gives you like a chart of how you're doing, and it tells you end by end, and yeah.
Oh, that sounds brilliant. So is it handy compared to using paper and diaries, or what do you think? Is this the way forward?
I don't know if it's a way forward, but I'm so unorganised that I don't have like a pen and paper on me all the time. But I've always got my phone, so it's handy.
That is a very, very good point. And what about you? What phone do you use?
I use a Windows phone. I can't really find many apps on there for it, but I'm slightly more organised and prefer pen and paper.
Oh, well, 2 different types of views there, but thank you very much, and have a good day. Thank you.
Lucy, you look like you're having a deep conversation there with those guys. What do they have to say?
Well, George was basically talking that phone apps could be, the future of them. It could be everyone can have their phone apps, put their scores on, and then it all gets loaded up to a big database. So I thought that was quite a good idea. I
think that's been done though, isn't it? Like, can't you upload there's an app, I think Target, mate. I think you can upload your scores onto Facebook, is it?
I think so.
But obviously for a big competition, say like one of the national series or something, if everyone has the phone up, it's like another way of electronic scoring.
So then you've got to get everyone to get a phone, haven't you?
I mean, you've got everyone to get an iPhone, you need to get everyone to have good signal, you need to get...
It's more difficult to implement than it.
Or an iPad.
Or an iPad.
Surely rock the iPad.
Yeah, where's our iPad printers?
You're not professional unless you've got an iPad. The director's making phone calls.
We've had another question off of Twitter, Notto.
Oh.
We have.
What is this one?
On the verdict on carbon blades, if possible.
I haven't used them myself, but they're growing in popularity all the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, they brought a new version out this year. So all the these
just to clarify, the carbon blades are the flat blade-esque stabilisers by Fuse.
They look like a sword.
Yeah.
They look like a sword.
Talking of sword use of stabilisers.
Yeah.
Well, go on.
Go on. No.
Well, it's a bit of a touchy subject for me. I'm sponsored by BUTC, so
you shoot a hook.
Well,
so you've got to be nice about both of them. What do you think about them? Have you shot them, the carbon blades?
I haven't shot them, no. They look great. I think they look amazing. And I've heard some good things about them, and I think I can imagine that they shoot quite well in the wind. You know, but I used to obviously shoot beasting in their class by them.
You said about the new version they brought out,
the ES, I think it's called the Blade ES, isn't it? Giving it a fancy golf ball style finish. They've made them even thicker, and they're £250 for a long run.
250 spots
with no weight.
We'll get some of those on the National Series prize fund. There'll be an influx on eBay the next day.
Fuse are a sponsor of the National
That's
Series.
a lot more expensive,
That's more expensive than the Platinum Dunker. It's £220. My personal choice, a long one, by the way.
Both of which sound very overpriced compared to the beasting.
Well, no, because you get a Dunker and 7 weights with them.
I roll.
No, the Fuse in the wind is. I don't know. I've never tried them, but they are very popular.
Theory in the background of it.
What's this golf ball style mottling then? Why have they done that?
When they did that to golf balls, they flew further.
So what?
I'm not an engineer, but I know that the mottling does improve airflow around the object.
Alright, so that's just to help improve its performance in the wind.
I think what you need to do is see if the other companies start copying that.
Or the mottling or the flat?
Both. This flat blade model.
How much harder do you think that is to actually manufacture though? Just to throw it out there.
I think the price speaks sort of £100 more than the other Fuse blade.
What blades do you stabilisers do you use?
I use Dunker at the moment.
Good
I
girl.
absolutely love to try the Fuse blades.
So
you're not looking to get sponsored.
I really want to try the Ferrari.
Either one would be good. Like, I've heard really good reviews from both, so I don't know. Whichever suits me. I think like different people can hold different weights and stuff. So
I'd imagine the blade would be quite it's designed so it'd be like really stiff one way, but I can imagine it being weak one way as well.
It is. That's why they had to make it stiffer this year.
That's why they've got the second one out stiffer for compounds.
But it's still going to have the same issue, surely. If you flatten something down, it's going to be
weak. It's still going to be weaker in one way than it is the other. Yeah, but
I've heard that sometimes Fuse are better in they're better in a crosswind rather than like a head-on wind. So
covered that.
Sorry.
Don't worry about paying attention. Don't worry about it. It's all right. That's pretty.
I'm just having a count of Loughborough hits. They hit 4 this time.
Hit 4, so you're bang on course.
If it
11.
1 last end.
11.
7, 12.
12 out of
24.
50%.
Yeah.
Not bad, Notto. We're going to get to some more videos
very sure
now.
I spent 50%. Very sure I spent 50%. So yeah, more videos now. We're going to go to some more interviews with Lucy about apps. No? Yes? Pridders is on it.
The director's working.
When we say on it, we mean
on it.
On it.
Lots of different potential rounds to do and that sort of thing, so it's useful.
And can you program your own rounds, or is there only set ones?
There's only the set ones, but it includes all the ones you really want to do, so it's good.
And are there any targets that come up, or is it just literally scores?
It is just scores.
And is that easier for you? Do you find it better having that on your phone rather than having a pen and paper?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's less to lose for a start.
Well, thank you very much. Have a good day. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, I was just wondering, what archery phone apps do you use?
I use Scoring Helper for Android.
For Android, that's interesting, because we had a few people that were saying different ones that they use. What do you find is good about this one?
It's the only one I've used, and it seems to work. Can't really complain.
And do you find it easier than using pen and paper? Do you think that apps are the way forward?
The same. Stores all digitally, so can't.
Can you access that on your computer? Can you transfer the data and put it anywhere, or?
Probably. I haven't tried yet. I only got it like the other day, so.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Thank you. I'm Sheffield, and I was wondering, what phone apps do you use for archery?
Use iArcher and TargetMate.
And which one do you prefer, or which one do you use most often?
Probably use iArcher the most often, just because it's got all the scored rounds and things in it, so it makes life a lot easier.
And what's the difference between the two applications?
iArcher's got a lot of the sort of standard scored rounds that are both indoor and outdoors. Rather on TargetMate, you can track where your arrows go end to end, which is quite useful as well, depending on what it is you're shooting.
And do you think that apps are the way forward for archery, or do you think that pen and paper will be used forevermore, or what do you think?
I don't know, eventually probably we'll go down the electronic route, but it's a lot easier just to print out a load of bits of paper and stick them on clipboards at competitions, particularly if you're sort of a fairly low budget enterprise. But for personal use, the scoring apps are quite handy.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Thank you. I'm here with two archers.
Oh, we're back.
Hopefully you guys found that quite interesting. I know me and John on the Pro Series, we use like apps like in kilometers and stuff like that to help with working out cuts and stuff. But
absolutely vital. You'd struggle around the Pro Series without a cyclometer or the other light, is it?
Explain those words. Explain those words.
Let me demonstrate.
Maybe you're going to demonstrate, yeah.
What does that say there, Mr. Wells?
Clinometer.
Those ones.
I think it's a brand name.
A little bit of advertising here, but that is. You see that?
Go towards that one. Let's see.
Absolutely key to success.
He's going. He's zoomed in.
Oh, I've turned it off now. There we go. There you go. Get the angles.
So they're pretty essential for getting the angle of the slope so you can work out how much to cut.
Absolutely.
I also find using something like TargetMate, I can plot where all my arrows go, and I can find, if I've got a bum arrow and a dozen. So. Yeah. Anyway, we need to start talking about the Olympics. We've got Charles back in 3 weeks.
Yes.
Your missus will be there.
Your missus will be there. Anyone in good form?
Larry Godfrey. Larry Godfrey is individually our best hope of medal this year.
For the second, third Olympics?
He's going for his third Olympics. He finished fourth in Athens.
Yeah.
He lost to the eventual bronze medalist in Beijing in an early round, unfortunately.
Yeah.
4 years later, but he was on it last year.
He shot well at face indoors.
Stunning. Ridiculous. And it's better. He's getting better by the day right now, and his confidence is so high.
I'm going to throw something out there. GB recurve archers were pants last year at international competition.
Yes.
Didn't bring home any medals.
No medals
at all.
No.
So do you reckon they'll be ready for this year?
Don't know.
They're doing a lot of training, aren't they?
In 2007, they cleaned up and they didn't bring anything back from the Olympics.
How long has Lloyd been working with them?
18 months.
18 months. So
2 years, maybe.
Hopefully, all that'll start kicking in soon.
Yeah. Why didn't they bring any medals last year? What was different?
Didn't happen for them.
The thing is, we always talk about like peaks in sport, and obviously they're waiting for the peak, and obviously the peak's got to be at the Olympics. So maybe they've had like a bit of a downer last year, but it's all because they want to shoot their best.
Yeah. You talk about peaks and troughs, and then you talk about transphobia
being the most
consistently pounding everybody. Can you have peaks and troughs of that? Is it an excuse? Or
I think the home advantage will kick in because I remember Dover World Cup back in 2007. They just won medals all over the place, more than they ever have.
Yeah.
Right.
And the only thing you put out there, that's a small statistic. But they've got medals, they start to win medals, and there's strong teams there, China, Italy, it's only Korea who went
And obviously, we're used to the wind over here.
Yeah.
Decent.
You'll be seeing carbon.
Okay,
planes.
obviously Olympics, Lords, etc.
Yes.
How nice. We can't talk too much about what was happening there, but
the venue is amazing.
Yeah.
It's got so much history and heritage. But it's a special place.
Yeah.
People have seen pictures of what it looked like at the test event last year. You put 5,000 crowd in there as well. It's going to be intense.
How are they
interesting.
So they've shot there and they've practiced there. How are they coping with the slopes? I know it's got the ground.
I don't think they did. I think it was catching them out all week.
Well, the thing is also at one point we had the wind sock on one side going that way and the wind sock on that side going that way. So not only have you got the slope, the canter, you've got wind doing all kinds of tumble turns. And I don't know, with the staging, I think it's going to be awesome.
I think being able to practice on that ground as well is going to be.
Well, they get half an hour.
Yeah, they get half an hour. No one's got any advantage. If you go online and look at the preview of the Sega Olympics game for this year, you can see the visualisation of Lord's cricket ground in that. It's amazing.
We're talking about the realistic one or the
it's a
Mario
full-on CGI. No, the realistic one. It's been approved by Local, and they've had all the designs from Local.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. What about international archers? Their potential. Someone like Brady. Do you think he's just going to clean?
Brady won the test event. No one has ever won the test event and medalled at the Olympics next year.
Really, that's a fact right there. Statman just knocked out.
I guarantee you that's completely untrue.
It's not. You look it up.
What odds are you giving him to win?
He's got to be the favourite.
Yeah.
But
do you remember that?
Anything can happen at the Olympics. It's a crazy little shoot.
First 9 hours, people are going everywhere. 10.
Brady, the Koreans are not idiots, and there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
You've got Frangilis, you've got Larry Hoffey from Britain. Larry is a big time player. He loves a crowd. Yeah. He's going to be a threat.
He's going to relish.
There's realistically 10, 12 guys who couldn't win it, but Brady's going to be the man.
Where did Larry finish at the Commonwealth Games?
He was about 6th.
He got to the final, didn't he?
Yeah.
He shot really well.
That was quite a high standard for Rico, so like the Indians.
Yeah, he lost to the Canadian, Jay Lyon. But who shot amazing, finished 2nd there, didn't he? Yeah. He's a big time player as well. He's not an idiot, so.
We need to rush on because we haven't got many minutes left. What else have we got coming in 2012?
For your National Series?
National Series, European Pro Series, there's European Championships, outdoors, World Cups. It's a crazy busy year. Yeah. It's going to be pretty much non-stop.
I know. I'm signing with these trials in a few weeks. I know I've got a 9 weekend run of shoots, just like off the cuff straight away. So.
Obviously.
World Field Championships as well.
Yeah, World Field.
Yeah. Archery Focus TV will bring you live coverage from the National Series legs and final.
And the final, of course.
As always.
It's going to be great. Oxford.
Yes. Should we try and answer a few more questions real quickly? You've got some more questions? Or?
I think we're all done for questions now, so we wrap it up.
Yeah, no worries. Well, I'd like to say thank you for joining us, and stay tuned. You can tweet us and some questions about
what's going on.
Yeah, we might pop back a little later after the finals for a couple of minutes or something. We'll be around.
All this is heating up quite nicely, and this will be running fairly soon after we finished here. So
we're just going to go and set up the cameras on the final target.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned and watch the finals, and we'll see you soon.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Cheers.
Bye bye.